So I've been playing some Pokemon Unite. In fact, across the 3 different game modes, quick battles, ranked battles, and standard battles, I have gone ahead and played over 100 matches. I know. Let's go outside, touch some grass comments down in the comment section below. Get it out of your system. Go ahead. I'll wait. Get that done. Okay, welcome back. Now, with that in mind, in today's video, I'm going to go on ahead and discuss the 3 Pokemon that I personally think are the S tier Pokemons, the one that I think you can go on ahead and pick up pretty quickly. They're not all that challenging to get into, and I think you will have the best possible results. I will also share my personal loadout for each one of them, as well as a little bit of advice and tips and tricks for each one of the Pokemon. Of course, don't forget, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't yet. You can pick up some Blitzwinger merch as well if you'd like to support the channel. Thank you to those of you that have been picking up the merch. It is very, very much appreciated. And of course, don't forget to stay subscribed and turn on your notifications. With all that in mind, all right, so let's kick things off with our first Pokemon, which is going to be Zera Aura. Now, Zera Aura is a speedster type character, one of actually 2 on this top 3 list. And I think that the key with Zera Aura is to get after it early. Zera Aura, similarly to a Pokemon like Lucario, is very, very powerful from the get-go. You are powerful at level 1, and in the early game, you are right off the bat a force to be reckoned with. Now, the problem is that you have to maintain that lead because most of the other Pokemon scale late, meaning that as the game goes on, they get more and more powerful and they become more of a problem. Zera Aura, on the other hand, if you don't maintain that lead that you have early, you're going to fall behind as the game goes on. So you have to get aggressive early and stay on it. Now, what is the perfect item combination, in my opinion, that seems to have the best possible results? Personally, I go with the Float Stone, the Muscle Band, and the Attack Weight. That seems to work best. Out of these 3 Pokemon, this is the one that I've tested the least in terms of the quantity of matches I've played. But in my experience, that combo works really, really well to give you a very, very powerful early lead as Zera Aura. Now, as far as item equipment or the specific item that allows you to have some sort of a boost, so you can run a potion, you can run a special attack boost. Personally, for me, there's actually 2 that I run on Zera Aura depending on the enemy team or depending on how I'm feeling for that particular match, and that is an eject button and the fluffy tail. I know many people are like, what? Fluffy tail? Nobody uses that item. But I actually find that it's a really useful item because I tend to go on ahead and prefer playing Zera Aura in jungle or in mid lane. If you don't know, the game is divided into 3 lanes. You got top lane, bot lane, and then the middle part, which is typically called mid lane, but it's also in Pokemon more so kind of the jungle area. So because of that, I usually will refer to that as jungle going forward. When you're in that jungle area, there's a lot of Pokemon that early on are quite tough to defeat quickly. So it's not really that they're tough, it's just that it takes a little while to actually defeat them. The fluffy tail allows you to defeat them a lot quicker and allows you to once again maintain that momentum to allow you to snowball your enemies faster and more consistently. So I would actually suggest trying out the fluffy tail item, but I will say that the eject button is a bit more consistent and will have more utility as it basically functions like a flash in League of Legends. So I would definitely go on ahead and go with Float Stone, Muscle Band, Attack Weight, eject button, or fluffy tail. Now, a little bit more information for Zera Aura. For me personally, the combo of moves, special moves that works best is the Volt Switch and the Discharge. You want to run those as your upgraded moves as you level up. They will yield the best possible results. And then, of course, don't forget to use that absolutely busted ult, which all you have to do is just walk into a wave of enemies, hit the trigger button, and away you go as you are doing tons and tons and tons of damage. Now, one final tidbit that I will mention, I have gone ahead and had some tough matches as Zera Aura, particularly against Slowbro and Machamp. So I would watch out for those 2 Pokemon. They seem to be extremely problematic for Zera Aura just due to their particular set of abilities. particularly Slowbro, who has that ability to go on ahead and freeze you in midair. That is really annoying and very frustrating to deal with for a Pokemon that needs to get in close and deal some melee damage like Zera Aura. So watch out for Slowbros. That's the Pokemon that you do not want to run into too often, as he will most likely have a kit that will give you a little bit of problems. So try to go on ahead and maybe target some of the other Pokemon first and leave that Slowbro for last. Now, the second Pokemon that we're going to go on ahead and talk about is another speedster, and that is Gengar. Now, I will stand corrected. A friend of mine, Gabe, said that Gengar was an incredibly good character. I said he's crazy. As I've played more and more matches, I absolutely agree with him. He takes a little bit of time to get used to in terms of how to play him, but boy, oh boy, Gengar is absolutely busted once you have the hang of this character. Now, as far as Gengar, you're still going to go on ahead and play through the jungle for the most part, but Gengar plays completely opposite to Zera Aura, where Zera Aura is an incredibly good Pokemon right at the start, very powerful, lots of damage up front. Gengar is actually the opposite. He is pretty much useless as Ghastly and Haunter, or at least very, very weak. He can be decent as Haunter because you already unlock the Sludge Bomb ability. But once you have the combination of Sludge Bomb and Hex, which Hex allows you to go on ahead and spam it over and over again, it's an insanely, insanely powerful move. Most likely, if I had to guess a move that's going to get nerfed in upcoming patches, it will probably be Hex, just because it's that busted. But I will say you have to be an extremely patient player as Gengar, and you have to have a patient group of players on your team, because they're going to be expecting you to go on ahead and gank for them and help them out. The problem is you're going to be kind of useless until you ideally unlock that Hex and Sludge Bomb combo. Once you have that, though, watch out, enemy team, because you can do some damage. So your goal is to get into the jungle, level up as fast as you can so that you get to that Sludge Bomb and Hex combo, and then go to town on the enemy team, as you are just going to go on ahead and wreak havoc. Now, as far as items are concerned, the best combo, in my opinion, what has worked for me, is to run the Shell Bell, Wise Glasses, and the Special Attack Specs, along with the X Attack Boost to even further your attack boost. Once you have that combo wombo, and you're rocking rolling once you have the Sludge Bomb, so you fire away the Sludge Bomb first to get the toxic effect. That then reduces the cooldown on your Hex, and then you go to Spam City as you hit the ZL button, I think it is, over and over again to hit the Hex combos. Insanely, insanely powerful, and does tons of damage. Keep in mind, you also do not take damage while Gengar goes diving under to cast the Hex spell. Insane, super duper busted. The actual only problems that you're going to run into, you'll see again, is Slowbro, because once again, he has that certain ability to CC you or freeze you in place. So you got to watch out for that. And then the other one that I've actually had some problems against is actually Wigglytuff, for the exact same reason, because Wigglytuff has that kind of like, I forget what the move is actually called, but it's the one where Wigglytuff starts crying and there's like a puddle of water around Wigglytuff, and then it freezes you in place. So that's problematic for you as well, because of course it negates your Hex combo. So you got to watch out for that as another problem. Other than that, though, again, pretty much if you can get to the point of keeping up with the rest of the lobby and get to the point where you have Sludge Bomb and Hex going, watch out. You can destroy everything in your sight very, very easily. And once you figure out the timing on that combo, you are going to be absolutely ridiculously unstoppable as Gengar. And then last but certainly not least, my personal favorite Pokemon in this game. And honestly, at the start of playing Pokemon Unite, I had no knowledge of Cinderace whatsoever. Scorbunny or Raboot, or whatever the name of the middle evolution is. I didn't know anything about Cinderace, didn't like that Pokemon, don't particularly care for that generation of Pokemon, but I gotta tell you, Cinderace is an absolute beast. If you play the attack damage carry role in MOBAs, typically, this is the Pokemon for you. This is an attacker type that is super duper fun to play. Scales kind of similarly to Gengar, although I would argue that Cinderace scales a little bit faster and a little bit quicker than Gengar. Gengar takes a bit more time to get going, whereas Cinderace is a bit more effective even in early game, but an extremely squishy character, meaning that you are going to be easily destroyed if you dive into the fight. So your goal is to stay on the outskirts, ping the enemies down with your combos. As you fire away on your enemies, you'll see that as you hit stacks and you get this kind of a fire emote around the enemies, once it fills up, your next attack does critical hit damage. So it's really, really good to go on ahead and make sure that you are pinging your enemies a multitude of different times to stack that damage, because it will snowball slowly but surely. As far as lane for Cinderace, I've seen two effective roles. So first and foremost, you can play this one in jungle just like the previous two. It works decently well in the jungle. That's usually the route that I'll go if I'm playing solo. But if I'm queuing up with a friend, then I actually like to play one of the top or bottom lanes along with another defender like Snorlax, for example, or Slowbro. That combo works super duper well because they provide you the tankiness that you don't have while you sit on the outskirts pinging the enemies down with insane amounts of damage. So that combo works out really, really nicely, and you can snowball very well with that particular skill set or lineup as well. Now, as far as loot is concerned, or moves are concerned, we're gonna run the scope lens, muscle band, and float stone. That's the best item combination that I've found for Cinderace. The item wise that I equip is either the eject button or the special attack boost. It really depends which one you have unlocked. You unlock the special attack boost a lot earlier, so I would run that early. Once you have the eject button available, use that, because again, it gives you a nice escape out of fights, because essentially by running the moves that you're going to run, which is going to be the pyro ball as far as special moves and the feint, those will pretty much almost grant you 2 dodges, because you have the feint to dodge and gain invincibility for 1 hit, so you can use that to buy yourself a tiny little bit of time to avoid damage. But the other thing that can get you out of fights, because again, like I said, you want to be in the fights, but you don't want to be right in the middle of the fight. You want to be right on the outskirts. You're a very, very effective ranged fighter, and so take advantage of that. Do not get into the fight. If you've overstepped your boundary, eject button out of there, stay in the long range, and make yourself very difficult to hit so that the enemy Pokemon can't go on ahead and destroy you very easily. So you're going to run, again, Pyro Ball and Feint for your moves, Scope Lens, Muscle Band, Float Stone for your equipped item, and then for your, I guess, special item, you're going to go on ahead and utilize the eject button. Now, as far as Pokemon that I found to be difficult to fight with Cinderace, I try to avoid Gengar as much as I can. That one gives you a ton of trouble because you only have the feint or the eject button to dodge. The problem is that Gengar can hit you with up to 4 and sometimes 5 hexes, plus he has his ultimate. So that's very, very annoying. You can try to negate and get another moment of invincibility by using your ult, but for the most part, Gengar is a huge problem for you. So try to avoid Gengar again, or if you're gonna fight Gengar, stay way, way out of range of the hex so that he can't go on ahead and spam you with the hex, because the problem is if he does, you can't go on ahead and get your attacks off and you can't get your stacks activated, which makes you super duper ineffective against him. The other two that I found to be difficult to defeat, but not impossible, are actually Lucario and Zera Aura. And with them, I would say you really have to be careful in the early game. They are very, very dangerous for Cinderace in early game, just because Cinderace takes a little bit of time to scale in damage and effectiveness. So Zera Aura and Lucario, they are powerful from the get-go. So you want to, in the early game, if those are Pokemon that you're going up against, if the enemy team has those, try to avoid going all in against those, unless if you can guarantee a win, because they will most likely defeat you in the early part until you don't have actually Cinderace unlocked. So if you're playing a Score Bunny and you're running into Lucario or you're running into Zera Aura, it's probably not a good idea to fight yet, unless if obviously they're low HP or something and you can just go on ahead and land a couple of hits to win. But for the most part, if they have full health and you have full health, you are most likely 9 times out of 10 going to lose that exchange. So try to avoid battling Lucario and Zera Aura early on. And so there you guys have it. I hope you found this video useful and helpful. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to go on ahead and smash the thumbs up button, subscribe. In addition to that, I did want to go on ahead and mention, if you're watching this video the same day that it is uploaded, which if you are, thank you so very much for your support. I will actually be streaming Pokemon Unite later on today. So if you want to go on ahead and queue up with me, consider becoming a member. That's one of the perks that members get, is that anytime I stream a multiplayer game, you get to hop into my matches. So thank you guys so very much for your support. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll hopefully catch you guys here next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, guys.